Are you ready? Let's test the equipment here just a little bit. Well,
What?
let's talk sex. No, that's not the show. What's the show?
This is Distillery Channel, Randy.
Yeah, it's distillerychannel.com. All right. Talking sex. Sex on drugs, sex on alcohol, sex on Friday nights. Isn't that what we're talking about?
We're gonna talk about the throwdown.
Oh, jeez. Throw down. Well, maybe we should get to the show. What do you think?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Sure? All right. You sure you want to do this?
Sure.
All right. In 5, 4, 3.
This is a Distillery Channel Network production, bringing you the distillerychannel.com.
Hello, Gene.
Hey, good afternoon, Randy.
I'm doing good. How are you? How are you?
I'm awesome.
You're always
did I
awesome.
Did I ask you how you were?
No, never. Never asked me how I am.
You said I'm doing good. Normally,
Yeah.
in polite Midwest, it would be, "How are you doing?" You'd be like, "I'm great. I'm
Yeah,
fine."
well, you always are great. Anyway, this is Randy Weckerly with Gene Latham sitting across the table from me with the Distillery Channel Network production of the distillerychannel.com. I think that's what we're doing.
That is what we're doing.
All right. Well, I think we should just try to lay out what we're going to do today and in some unorganized fashion. But you gave me some notes, so I have to go by them.
Yes.
All right. Well, tell us about where...
A little bit, anyways. At least try to follow the main highlighted areas.
No.
We're heading off to...
You're assuming I know how to read.
I know. I put pictures next to the words.
All right. So where can they find us, young Gene?
We are actually, we can be found at www.thedistillerychannel.com. Also, find us on Facebook at The Distillery Channel. Follow us on Twitter at The Distillery Chan. And like us on Instagram at The Distillery Channel.
Yeah, that's a lot of all.
Oh, we have a YouTube, too.
We do have a YouTube. I think that's where the productions go, young Gene.
Yes.
Gene Latham. Hey, we're on air right now on the YouTube channel, Distillery Channel. Go to Distillery Channel and you can find all of our shows. This is show number 5?
6.
Okay. Well, what happened to 5?
You did it. Apparently you were drinking when we did that show.
I don't remember that. What was that on? Oh, that was on. I don't remember.
Chicago.
So what's this one going to be on this week, Gene?
We are actually heading to the great state of Michigan, and I'll tell you, there were so many places to be looked at to try to figure out where to go. I just decided to do the whole state and do a nice peruse over. We're gonna do the 10,000-foot flyover.
All right. Where are we gonna fly over first? Because I have some people that are going to be calling in later today. We have young Rob Ladd, our destination guru for Upper Michigan. He's going to give us some highlights there.
Yes. We're going to be traveling to some great places: Traverse City, Petoskey, Charlevoix. We're actually even going to go up to Mackinac Island for just a brief stop.
Yeah.
Got some interesting stuff going on up there. We are going to be in north central Michigan, and actually down in Grand Rapids briefly also.
I can't wait to take my hot rod up to Mackinac Island because that would be very cool to tool around the island with my Corvette.
It would be very cool if they allowed vehicles on there.
Well, they'll allow
but they don't.
No, they might have a Corvette.
Horses, bikes, and golf carts. That's it.
That's it?
And they do have some emergency vehicles.
Are they all Amish? Why don't they have a car?
No, but it is like a step back in time.
Really?
Yes.
So why do people go there? I mean, if they go on a luxury vacation, you get to walk or have a horse?
Both. Or all the above.
So when you go to Hertz, you get Pink Pony. No, Pink Pony is a good place we're going to go, right?
Pink Pony is an iconic bar and restaurant.
So what?
On the island.
On which island?
On Mackinac Island.
Mackinac or Mackinac?
Mackinac.
Mackinac.
It's Mackinac City and Mackinac Island.
How do you know?
Because I know these things. I've been there a bunch of times. In fact, I was just there a couple of weeks ago, probably a month ago.
Why wasn't I there?
Because I was taking my 86-year-old parents on a tour to a family function, and you were working.
Well, of course, I had to support somebody around here. I was working for the good of the kind of the good, and so forth and so on. The cool thing about it is Michigan. They have a great organization that supports Michigan. It's called Michigan.org. And Tim Allen, we're going to hear some of his great commercials today coming to us from Michigan.org. I love that music because that means we can get in the car. We're going to go up there sometime later.
Yes, because it has a bunch of great stuff going on there. Oh, there's vineyards and there's some great breweries, some distilleries. Excuse me. There is golf courses, some fantastic golf courses, and some lovely resorts. And bar none scenery is awesome.
What I can't wait to hear about is Bay Harbor.
Did you know that there was over 40 of the counties in the state of Michigan are on the island, or on that touch the water, I should say.
Here's Tim Allen now.
We need to make a choice.
Maybe he can tell us.
To move faster with it, or to step off every now and then. To marvel at the wonders around us. To take in new sights and sounds. And to remember just how beautiful life can be. This fall, let's take in a big, deep breath of pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.
You know what? That puts me in the mood.
It does. I want to go.
We'll be right back.
Distillery Channel Network production, bringing you the distillerychannel.com.
Well, Gene, you ready to go and get into this meat of the sandwich, the gristle?
Absolutely.
All right, the beer, the suds, the wine, the grapes, the cherries. Where do we begin?
So let's just talk a little bit about Michigan.
Okay.
A little bit about some of the details. Do you know that they have they have the longest freshwater shoreline in the world?
I can't say it, let alone know it. Freshwater shoreline. And it connects with which lakes? Do you know? Do you know which lakes touch on it? 4 of the 5 Great Lakes connected around Michigan, and if there is ever a water war, they say Wisconsin will lose. I don't know.
But we'd still be in better shape.
How do you know when you win or lose that one?
I don't know.
All of your neighbors are
Did you see
grapes.
that movie, Waterworld?
No, I don't think it was shot there.
Waterworld.
No, I don't know anything about that. But they have a lot of water. They say that anywhere in Michigan you can't go 6 miles without finding some kind of body of water, river, lake, or something else. Mm-hmm. So I think that's pretty amazing, actually. A lot of water. They have 121 commercial wineries, which could take us a while to sort out. It makes Michigan the 10th in wine production. Michigan-grown grapes are some of the most sensational in the world. 83 counties adjoin at least one of the Great Lakes. Michigan is the only state that touches all 4 of the 5 Great Lakes. I think it's amazing. Now, tell me about Diupers.
Diupers. Well, you have to be of a certain age to remember the Diupers. But they were actually a band from the UP, and they sang about. And I'm a terrible singer, so I can't sing it. But they were famous for singing about deer. And hunting and farts.
Diupers are a band from UP. They're famous for singing deer, hunting, farts. Hey, what the hell is that all about, Gene? I don't get it.
Did you know that the people up in the UP called the Upers, they call the people down below the Mackinac Bridge, they call them trolls because they're below the bridge.
That's a cold. That's what they call. Well, they don't have a car, so they can't come down and fight them anyway. Traverse City is the tart cherry capital of the world and hosts the week-long National Cherry Festival each July.
Hey, did you know Battle Creek? What do you know about Battle Creek? Famous Kellogg's cereal.
Oh, well, we all grew up on that. I mean, we all had to reach into the box to get.
I think you're still growing up on it. Don't you have a box of Frosted Flakes?
I bought the family size for $3. I told you I was absolutely a wonderful shopper last week.
Eating the Frosted Flakes.
Kellogg's, by the way, offered its first mail-in cereal prize back in 1909. And back then, it was a 1909 SVDB penny, which today is worth over $15,000. No, that's not true, but it's amazing it was 1909.
Hey, let's talk about some distillery facts.
Yeah, okay.
So, Michigan Brewers Guild published for 2016, Michigan, the Great Beer State, is known as, and it has a growing list of 205 plus Michigan beer outlets. They rank 3rd nationally with 32 locations for the number of craft distilleries in the state. They have about 40 statewide right now. And you know what? It adds a ton to the potential revenue impact, financial impact to the state. It's a huge portion of the state's economy. They also have 71 commercial wineries.
Wow.
The best of them
Yeah.
being in the 2 peninsulas that run north from either side of Traverse City into Grand Traverse. There's a beautiful place, and I was just up there in Leelanau.
And again, why do you get to do all the good stuff?
Because
your parents are nice.
I am the destination research
You
person.
are. Well, and I get to stay home and do
in
all
your
the work.
production.
I am. Well, if it wouldn't be for me, we wouldn't be here. Hi. Michigan wine country is no Napa. Far from it, but it does produce some of the wonderful bottlings. You know, the cool thing about Michigan I look forward to is golf, wine, beer, brats, and distilleries.
And beach, too.
Now, why do they not capture? Well, they do capture. That's what's cool. It's now going on. We're going to have our destination travel guru, Rob Ladd, talking about up north and the destinations we have going to. But it is amazing for the guys if they ever want to have a buddy trip. Boyne Mountain, and you've got the upper, treetops, and then that Bay Harbor. We're going to talk about Bay Harbor.
Bay Harbor, yep.
Bay Harbor blew up the bay.
Literally, I think that is what happened.
They did. What they did is that they went in. It was an old. I think they made a lot of cement there, or they did a lot of stuff. But they went into this bay, and I've seen the pictures of it, and it's just stunning. And we're going to try to stay there. I think in August or September when we go up there and research.
We're going to do some research.
The food. Well, Gene and I read about the food that go along with that Bay Harbor area. Sensational. I mean, farm to table, amazing cuisine, wonderful dining. We're going to get to that a little bit later. Things to do in Michigan other than just relax. The cool thing about Michigan, if people don't know it, well, let's see. If you're in Chicago, you watch the sun come up, and if you're in Michigan, you can sit on the beach and watch the sun go down. And what's that dunes area? Big Bear?
Sleeping Bear. Sleeping Bear Dunes, yeah.
Yeah, it was named one of the top destinations in the country for its beauty.
Yes.
Who knew?
And I'll tell you what, you do not want to be the fan of heart or not somewhat athletic.
Yeah, get it out, Gene.
Well, I was trying to use the right word, Randy.
Yeah.
But, okay, so the first time that I ever went there, it's real easy going down, and it was probably, I'm going to say, at least a 300-foot drop that we traversed down. Getting down there is the easy part because, literally you slide. It's super steep.
Yeah.
Getting up, you literally have to crawl up on all hands and fours. And not every trail is like that, but the area that I was in, it took probably 15 minutes on your hands and knees, groveling up the side of this big sand dune.
Did you have to pay extra?
No, not at all.
Just to grovel? You can start groveling around here
groveling.
occasionally. Once you grovel, I wouldn't make you pay any at all. And the other thing we've got coming up soon, I think it's after break, we might be talking a little bit about a libation cocktail, and we're going to give any hints to how that came about today.
Well, it was an interesting little combination of how we did it. These
take
are
a sip,
delicious.
These are sipping.
This is Jean's cocktail, also known as PMS or the Throwdown.
I saw Gene working on it.
It's going to go one of two ways.
Yeah, it's going to be. This is a drink that I'm going to tell you. I was a little suspect.
It's not for the faint of heart.
It is.
It's
not.
a sipping drink, also.
And you can get green stuff caught between your teeth.
That's basil.
Or basil, depending on which one of the sons show up. Anyway, really good stuff, Gene. On that trip that you had with your folks really got into that trip. I remember seeing pictures of you and them, and then watching the sun go down on the west side of Michigan, right by the lake. It was absolutely
beautiful.
Sensational.
Yeah, it was absolutely beautiful. They were thrilled with it.
When's that yacht race? It goes from what's that yacht race?
Oh,
goes
the
from
tall
Chicago?
ship. The tall ship.
No. The race goes from Chicago up there. Goes from it's Mackinac race or it starts in Chicago. It's a big yacht race. We should have researched that. No. Anyway,
there's a tall ship. There's a tall ship. Celebration.
No ship.
No ship.
Yeah. How about the tunnels of Michigan? I don't know if they're tunneling their way in or tunneling their way out. We got a little ahead of ourselves, but I found that fascinating that they had these tunnels of trees in one of northern Michigan's must-see attractions, perfect for a scenic drive or a bike ride. Apparently up there it's either biking, walking, or occasionally a use of the car.
Okay, so I also had the opportunity to do this, and it starts in Cross Village, and it was, I don't know how many miles, probably 15, 20 miles, I'm going to say. But it was literally enough for two cars, beautiful paved highway, but it runs all along the bay from Cross Village down to Harbor Springs, I think is where we came out, which is also a beautiful little community right on the lake. But we took that, and it was literally a tunnel of trees. It's forest all the way around you and wraps over for most of the road, over the top of the road. Yeah. Fabulous. We took it in June. I'm going to say fall trip would be absolutely stunning.
Yeah, the tunnel of trees is especially breathtaking in the spring when they say when trilliums carpet the forest floor, that borders the road, and then in autumn, when the hardwoods along the whole trail put the fall colors are just embracing every inch of the way when you're on that we got to do that too. How do we? Michigan has just got this amazing reputation, for travel. It's one of the top 3 states.
It's stunning. I mean,
for golf.
There's portions of
you take a picture, take a look at the pictures of the golf courses up there, and they're just absolutely sensational. And then in the winter, of course, it's a big ski haven. So we'll send our associate Bob Aldrich on that for research in the winter.
Our cross-country skier
and we'll
guy.
call in from Key West and ask him how the snow is. But the snowing up there, or the snow, they get all that lake effect snow that make fresh snow almost every night going to there. So the interesting thing, if you go in through southwest Michigan, you're going along the 4-lane right there, and about every half mile you see a sign for a distillery or a winery or brewery or something.
Oh, they have I think 5 main winery trails in the state.
Yeah.
And they're all over the state, not just up in the northwest corner,
Yeah.
which we're going to be kind of focusing on. But they're southwest, yes, all around the state.
Yeah. No, it's an incredible state, and there's a bunch of interesting facts we're going to get to who the famous people are that came from the state, which I'll just give a little hint. Iggy Pop.
Who's Iggy Pop?
Iggy Pop. Well,
Who's
he's just a crazy rocker. I mean, but when you can claim that you had Iggy Pop, you might want to find somebody else that you put in the billboard as they come into the state. So they got Kellogg's, Snack Crackle Pop, and Iggy Pop. So I don't know.
I think they're yeah.
Find it.
I'm just gonna leave it with that.
If you have a big box of Kellogg's and you find a head of Iggy Pop, it might be the real Iggy Pop. So, anyway, got a lot of things. We're going to talk about a technology app coming up. We're going to talk about that now.
Sure.
Can we do that?
Yes.
We're going to back up.
We can talk about that now.
Can
we got a great. It's a wine app. It's called Hello Vino.
Yeah.
And what it does is it prompts users through interactive questions to find the best wine for a particular meal or holiday or taste preference. So it is actually, and I've used it. It is pretty. It works pretty well. So like if you're having, let's use Thanksgiving or whatever, or Labor Day weekend. You're grilling out brats and you've got potato salad, potato chips, and what's the best cocktail to go along with that?
Yeah, I don't know. So that it's going to give us the answer to that?
Yeah. It
Really?
does. It'll pull up. Yeah.
Why can't we just drink the stuff that you made today? This stuff
That
is
is
not,
a good summertime
do
drink.
not light a match above the top of the glass of alcohol that Jean
It
put
is,
together.
as I mentioned earlier, it is a sipping drink.
It's
It's a sipping drink on ice, slow.
I could go to the dentist right now. Everything's numb.
Everything's fine. Everything's okay.
How about things that are going to be going on this year, Gene? You put in here libation stops, national, international, special events. We might have to go back a page or two.
Yes, I'm thinking. Oh, we've got the Blues, Brews, and Barbecue Festival, which is in Birch Run, Michigan, which is also up in the upper part of Michigan.
Yeah.
That is July 29th to July 30th. So that's coming right up. And then they also have the Mackinac City Beer and Wine Festival, which is September 23rd to the 24th of this year. And I've heard that's a very fantastic event.
I was just reading on that Blues, Brews, and Barbecue Festival. It says here sanctioned.
Sanctioned.
The Kansas City
Sanctioned alcohol consumption.
The Kansas City Barbecue Society.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, why that is because it's a barbecue. There's a barbecue competition.
But it's sanctioned.
But no, there's people all around the country. Be careful what you say here because people are pretty serious about their barbecuing capabilities. People do it as beyond just a hobby. It's like a passion for people.
Really?
So they go all over the place.
Sanctioned. It says here, sanctioned competition. Near 40 teams compete in 4 different categories. 4 different categories are chicken, ribs, pork, and brisket. I'm all in for any of that. I wonder if you could become a sanctioned judge just because you're overweight. How do you become a judge in that? Yeah, that's really cool. What was your favorite on that trip that you went on with your folks? What did your folks like about that whole trip, other than being with their beautiful daughter?
I would have to say they, for years, used to travel up through the UP and, come down through do that trip. We have some family that's in Michigan, in central Michigan. And I think they enjoy, I don't know, there's so many things. We went across the bridge to Mackinac City. They loved that. They loved coming down. We took fabulous trips in and out of a lot of the bays, like I said, Charlevoix, Petoskey, in and up and around all of the bay areas there, Harbor Springs. Yeah. And it's thrilling. I mean, it's not a fast trip. You kind of got to go slow, but the scenery is incredible.
Yeah. A couple quick fun facts before we go to break. Sault Ste. Marie, founded in 1668, was the first European settlement in the Midwest and the 3rd oldest one west of the Appalachians. Secondly, Michigan abolished the death penalty in 1846, so if you're going to kill somebody, go to Michigan, I guess. We'll be right back. Coming soon, the distillerychannel.com, along with our award-winning Where to Play Golf radio team, will be traveling to great destinations like Hawaii, the Golden Isles of Georgia, Napa and Sonoma, and even Lake Tahoe. Even more spectacular, you can now sign up to join us on our 2016 Station for Vacation listener trips created for you, our loyal fans. Join myself, Randy Weckerly, and Gene Latham of the distillerychannel.com, along with Where to Play Golf's Michael Stewart, America's #1 golf course writer, and Tim Bona, travel correspondent, as we venture to these world-class destinations. Joining us on these trips will be golf iconic LPGA Hall of Famer Nancy Lopez and her Nancy Lopez Golf Adventure Team. Learn the finer points of golf and enjoying life while sharing one-on-one moments with Nancy and her team, and learn what makes a real pro tick. Sign up now and get more information about our fall and spring upcoming trips. More information can be found at thedistillerychannel.com. That's thedistillerychannel.com. Hello, Gene.
Hey, Randy.
It's that time for the Carnarvon wagon to make its way to the
Carnarvon
fire.
wagon. I hear tinkling of glasses.
Cheers.
Glasses.
Cheers. Whoa,
Like-
they didn't catch on fire yet.
It didn't.
Wow. Must sip that
Must
drink.
sip this drink. This
Yeah.
drink it's a culmination of some interesting things that I had today.
Now, you
I
have
actually-
to... Okay, let me explain. Gene was up all night searching the internet, the entire internet, to try to find the right cocktail recipe.
I think you're exaggerating a little bit, but go ahead.
Just a touch. But you have done a lot of, let's say, research.
I have done a lot of cocktail research in my
Research.
life. So here's this drink. So it's kind of a little bit of a combination of a couple drinks, but then I added a little bit of my own flavor to it as well.
Of course.
So I went to the local liquor store today,
Yes.
and I came up with this drink, and actually I came up with it while I was there. So
Okay.
it is delicious, I will tell you, but it is a sipping drink. It is a great summertime sipping drink, but do not over imbibe
Or get near an open flame.
or get near an open flame.
This is a drink you could have on a boat, but don't fall in the water after about 2 of them.
Even if you're a good swimmer.
You're not going to care getting back to the boat. So
No, as always, guys, drink responsibly. But here's the drink. Here it comes, guys. So it's called. I have 2 names for it: PMS
PMS, great.
or
Yeah,
the Throwdown.
that's.
So,
how
and
does-
you'll
what?
understand
What?
it. You'll understand after I give you the
How
ingredients.
does
to
that
it.
go together?
Okay, you'll understand
All right.
after I give you the
Yeah,
ingredients.
I gotta
okay.
chart this.
So this has prosecco. It has a
Wait a minute. What's prosecco?
prosecco.
You know, in your upper Wisconsin elitism,
Okay.
what the hell is prosecco? I mean, honestly, what the shit?
You don't know what prosecco is?
I don't
All right.
know.
Well, you need to go to the liquor
I'm
store.
a flatlander.
Do some research on it.
What is it?
Prosecco.
That's
it's
cheese,
like
right?
It's like,
Isn't that prosciutto?
that's meat.
That's meat. Wait a minute. You got
Prosecco
prosciutto.
is just like it's a sweeter. It's kind of, well, this one's
Menudo.
actually a little drier prosecco, but it
Prosecco.
tends to be a like a sipping kind of wine. It's a little sweeter usually, but it was actually that or champagne. Champagne also would work also. But here, let's talk about. Okay, you're asking way too many questions.
Prosecco is the professional, as opposed to the Amasecco, which is the
Okay.
amateur.
All right. Hush for a second. Let me give you the ingredients.
Okay,
on
let's
this.
start.
Okay, so
Got my pen ready.
prosecco.
Yes.
So you need prosecco, you need
Yes.
peach schnapps, and you need some form of moonshine. And I will leave that up to you as to what type you want. However, we have a bottle of Whiskey Acres. It's a farm crafted corn whiskey, actually from right down the
Illinois.
road.
Oh, no, not Sycamore. But it's
DeKalb.
between,
DeKalb, Illinois.
Yeah.
Okay, so and some tonic water and
Yeah.
some ice.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's how you do it. Okay, it is 1 cup of moonshine, your choice, 1 cup of peach schnapps, 1/2 bottle of prosecco, and I put a splash of tonic water on it because I don't like the taste of like heavy alcohol. I have a hard time with that. So, anyways, so that kind of tones it down a little bit, but. interesting. Put some basil in it. Put a few basil leaves. You want to mix this up actually in a pitcher, and you want to ice it, and then you want to drink it in a lovely either champagne glass or wine glass.
I will tell you personally, I like this drink a lot.
It is a good drink. It is a good drink.
This is a sipping drink. This is not a chug-a-lug.
Okay, so if you all thought out there that the PMS was something else, PMS simply stands for Prosecco, Moonshine, and Schnapps.
Prosecco,
Moonshine, and Schnapps. Okay, the throwdown. Wait.
I was thinking it was pineapple meat and sausage.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's how you think.
Yeah, well,
okay, but the throwdown part,
yeah.
I'm just telling you, if you drink too much of this,
yeah,
you potentially could experience some level of throwdown later in the day.
I don't think you meant down on that. I don't know. I think I had another idea. There has to be a certain level of enjoyment when everybody sits around and all the inhibitions go out the door. Well, PMS, it doesn't cure PMS. This is not. Do we have to put at the end of this a whole bunch of disclaimers because it's medical?
No, not at all. No, okay. I'm just going to say, drink at your own, with your own responsibility.
I've never understood about alcohol. So we watched TV and we talked about this last night. So you watch TV and they got all these different drugs, and the drug they'll say, well, the drug will help you, except it could blind you, kill you, liver explode, kidneys go down,
ears bleed.
You could develop a third
fingers
arm.
Fall off.
Your kids won't be right, but it will help you.
For you.
Yeah, it's going to cure everything. And other than the side effects, it's awesome. I guess you're just ready to go at the time you get done taking the, whatever.
Hey, let's talk about some of the fantastic trails that they have.
Yeah.
The distillery trails that they have in Michigan.
Right.
So there's a number of winery trails that we talked about.
Wait a minute. Let's define it.
Why are you interrupting all the time?
I get confused. What's a trail? What do you mean a trail? You have to walk a trail?
Are you like 3? Are you 5?
What the fuck, Gene? I mean, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm not. But, we're looking at...
I think you just dropped the F-bomb.
Well, Randy. But I'm confused. What's a trail? I mean, the trail
is, so people like to drink wine. They like distilleries. Some people like breweries. So in many communities across the country, not just Michigan, they have places where you could go literally and they map them out for you. So you could do in, a day, you could visit 4 or 5 breweries, or in, 2 days you do 4 or 5 breweries one day and, half a dozen wineries the next day.
So
it's not for the faint of heart.
So in the 70s, all the hippies had what they called dine-arounds.
Right.
This is a wine-around.
This wine around, brew around,
drink
distill around.
So that's all it really is. So the cool part is you drink, and then you go down the trail in your car?
Okay. Well, okay. So there's more.
Some complications
there's more to that than this, though, because you're not only drinking, but you're just basically experiencing the community and culture that you're in. So it's not like you're drinking solid all day. And again, best to have a DD, particularly. I mean, if you're going to stop at more than a couple places, I mean, that's obviously, we all know what responsible drinking is.
DD stands for Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
game,
I know.
So
I'm done explaining stuff to you, man.
What, Dungeons and Dragons? My kids play it all the time.
You're on the slow wheel today.
Well, just going in. I don't know what you mean by that DD stuff.
Let's talk about this, though. Hey, there's our Flint and Genesee Wine and Beer Trail.
Really?
That's actually going to be over on, I believe, on the eastern side of Michigan.
Go.
There's a Give a Craft Beer Trail.
Give a Craft Beer
Trail.
Give a
Craft beer.
Oh,
As in
sorry.
craft beer.
Right.
Kalamazoo area, Grand Rapids area. There's over 20 craft breweries in that metro area that are within a 90-minute drive. And they say Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids is a beer lover's dream. In fact, the founders, I think it's called the Founders Brewery, was actually is established there. And we'll talk about that a little bit later.
What's that one that were really passionate about their beer that's really heavy and they got some really great names that they have with their beer? Like I Give a Crap Beer, and it's just like oatmeal beer. And
I think that's the Founders one.
Is that the Founders one?
Yeah,
that's some really cool names and real passionate about what they're doing.
Yes, I believe
really
it's
cool.
the Founders, but go with that, Randy.
I'm just fascinated. Here's a trail. Here's your car keys. Have some fun, guys. Hit the road, and then you go play a little bit of golf.
That is the cool thing, though, about a lot of the breweries. I mean, particularly breweries. They have some really fun and entertaining names. And I'll tell you, these guys probably drank a few cocktails or a few beers when they came up with those. But they're just fun and funny, and they're stuff that you remember.
What, you've been drinking there, little Jim?
So
the cool thing about Lake Michigan, being surrounded by water. If you hit the water, turn around, go back. That's like, it can be thrown out of your mind. Hit the water, go back. The sun's in your eyes, go the other way until you hit the water again. It's just water everywhere from there. How's Detroit doing these days? We're gonna no, we don't have anything featured on that. They're making a comeback,
we don't.
though.
But I would love to, because there's a lot of great stuff going on. Yeah. When I was doing research for this trip, some amazing. I mean, they're doing a lot of rejuvenating of a lot of areas in the city, and some fantastic foods, and a lot of great movements going on there.
Yeah.
But that we can do that on another show.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you a couple things about Michigan I found out. It's the only place in the world where you can find cities named both Paradise and Hell.
Where would you prefer to live?
I don't know.
I'd prefer to live somewhere in between.
I like Michigan for this second reason. Number 2, Michigan pretty much invented the modern weekend. The 2-day weekend has its origin in Michigan labor movement, and Henry Ford gave the workers 2 days off every week in the 1900s. And he was the first guy to give them a living wage.
Really?
Back then, it was $5 a day, which was huge.
Right.
He gave them a place to sleep. And the other thing about Henry Ford, he wasn't a saint, because once you went to work in the morning, you could not leave the line to go to the bathroom. So this is a true fact.
Wow.
And you've ever heard the monkey wrench screwed up the works? You know, he threw a monkey wrench into it. It came from the Henry Ford line of cars, because when guys had to go to the bathroom, they literally would take a monkey wrench.
I think I've heard this before.
That's the truth. Yeah.
Literally, I think I have. Yeah.
And they'd throw it into the line
to stop the line, so that they could
go to the restroom,
take a drink or a smoke break or whatever.
Yeah. It's pretty fun. So Michigan's great. We'll be right back. Randy and Gene trying to figure out what we're doing for the next segment. Talk to you. Live Eco Style for the insatiable, eco-minded traveler, the leader in eco-experiential travel, inspiring, guiding, and connecting people to have deeper, richer, and more personal experiences. It's about uniting and tying together conservation, communities, and sustainability. We capture the pure joy of discovering the eco pleasures of the world has to offer in a lifestyle. Where and how you live and travel. Coming Sunday morning, the culture, community, food, health, and wellness, relaxation, nature, and adventure, all from the eco perspective. We are Live Eco Style. Well, Gene, one of the things I like to talk about is our destinations we're going to, whether it's eco style living or if it's where to play golf.
These are a few of my favorite things.
I know.
It's all about the travel.
Yeah, we're going to be talking with Rob Ladd here in a minute. He's the guy that sets up our destinations and begins the conversation, and he did a great job this past week. What's going to be your favorite place we're going to be lined up here? Because I know we're beginning to circle the wagons.
I can't even put my, are we talking about Michigan or are we talking about in general?
We're going to talk about Michigan and Michigan. Our first trips we're going to have, they're going to be handing off to some of the stations this next week.
We are going to be talking about the Belmond collection. Belmond,
right.
Beautiful collection, actually, internationally. We're going to be talking about destination hotels.
Man, I'll tell you what, there is no better group than Destination Hotels. And
they've got some awesome stuff going on with them.
And our 4 trips we're putting together, too. Puerto Rico, Lake Tahoe.
Puerto Rico.
Hawaii with Nancy Lopez. Going to be great. We're coming back. You know, that the trip that I'm looking forward to is that Puerto Rico trip.
I know.
Luminescence.
Where was it? Michael wanted to say. What was he? Oh, is it?
Yeah, no, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's go back to our childhood.
I'm Tony the Tiger, gang. We're building a new sign for Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes.
We're Kellogg's country.
Is it That's Battle Creek, right? Battle Creek, Michigan.
Careful with that board, boy. Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes are... they're good.
I just want to say it.
Sometimes I think he's fighting me. Hey, boy, what's that?
I don't know if you get away with this stuff anymore.
Boy, but I recommend you the talking. Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes.
Where'd you find
Tony
this?
knows they're great. Great big
I
flakes
do my
of corn
research.
sparkling with a secret sugar frosting. With milk or right out of the box. They'll put a tiger on your team. Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes. They're great. Great. You also get Kellogg's
I just
Sugar
want to
Frosted
say it.
Flakes in the handy Kellogg's.
Come on, tell you it doesn't put a smile on your
Oh my
face.
goodness!
Do you remember how we used to
That
fight
is
for
a
those?
blast from the past.
We used to fight for those.
Oh
little
yeah,
things
you
at
had to
the
grown
bottom.
up with 7 kids,
And then on Saturday morning,
fighting for box tops,
I
not sugar boxes.
would sit and read the box, in front of me with my. I think it was
Every time, every day. It was like Groundhog's Day. You just read it over and over.
And my parents used to get that 8-pack or 12-pack for no apparent reason. And my mom would say, you could just pour the milk right in the box. I'm going like, really?
I don't want to.
I ain't cleaning that up.
You were a lucky kid. I didn't.
Right.
We didn't get the individual ones. We got the bulk size.
Well, yeah. I mean, we drank through. I'd go home at night after football practice and go through a gallon of milk, and I was supposed to have a box full of cereal milk.
6 ounces.
Well, she'd come out, she'd look at me, and she said, "How come you didn't make it for dinner?" "Okay, Mom, this is the 4th year in a row I've played football. I will not be here at 5 o'clock for dinner." But I'd have the dried up meatloaf in the oven. Anyway, we got on the line. We're coming back to Michigan, and up in Upper Michigan, Rob Ladd, our coordinator of Destination Travel, has been working with the Upper Michigan. He'll tell us about it in a minute. Hey, Rob, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Randy. Hi, Gene.
Hey, Rob.
Rob, the exciting thing this past week, you began to work with some of those snow and golf resorts in Upper Michigan. Absolutely, truly beautiful. Tell us a little bit about what you ran into this past week and what you're looking forward to doing and setting up our destination travel up there.
Well, one of the very, very cool places is Mackinac Island, where there's no motorized vehicles.
We talked about that.
Out there, it's just a step back in time.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place. They have a beautiful golf course there. Of course, you're surrounded by water with everything, with Lake Superior and Lake Michigan right up there.
I could totally see you, Rob, riding
Other places that's really great up there in that part of the world is the Grand Traverse Resort at Traverse City.
Yeah.
They've got 54 holes of golf.
Wow.
They got a water park. They have a spa. They are right close to the Turtle Creek Casino, and they have shuttles to run you over there.
Wow.
And it reminded me of the last time I was in Traverse City. It was actually on a golf project.
Yeah.
And my old partner, Phineas T. Bicklesworth, he arranged my
That's not a Rob. That's not a real name, is it? You just made that up, right?
And he did not book me into the Grand Traverse Resort.
No.
I was at the $39 a night special that you drop in, with the communal outdoor toilet.
Well, Rob, let's upgrade it here just for a minute. We've got to go to some of the other places up there are places that you were working with. Treetops is one of the major destinations, one of the greatest places to go. We have a great functioning teaching and demonstration up there. We have the other locations that had, I think, some water parks and some skiing up there. But Bay Harbor is absolutely a sensational hotel. And it's one of the things that's cool about that is how they carve that out. Have you talked to those people at all the past week, or have you studied that location at all?
Oh, yes. There's a number of them up there that are all spectacular. And a lot of them feature the cross-country and downhill skiing in the winter. Here's an overlooked thing. If you go in the spring of the year, is morel mushrooms are big in northern Michigan.
Yeah.
And, of course, they're incredibly delicious. And there's some spectacular restaurants up there. And, of course, as you go in the summer, all the cherry trees, if you're there at the right time to see them bloom, is spectacular. One of my favorite parts is the smallmouth bass fishing there in the bay at Traverse City. Just some of the best smallmouth bass fishing in the entire world. It
sounds to me like Michigan has absolutely everything. A little bit of gambling, a little bit of fishing, golfing, skiing, drinking, wine, distilleries, the whole package. And we're going to have, I guess what you're doing, Rob, tell us a little bit about what you're doing for the stations that we're bringing on. You're putting together packages that the stations are going to be using for their listener trips. And I think you found some sensational packages to work with up there.
Yes, absolutely. Our stations that are carrying our shows, we are putting together these listener trips where the listeners go along with us and do some great adventures. Bourne Highlands is a great resort. They have got a Donald Ross course, a Robert Trent Jones course, and an Arthur Hill course, all on the same property.
Yeah, spectacular.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah,
well, and they have Michael Stewart, America's #1 golf course rider, and Tim Bona doing the research, and they've been there several times, and they'll be coming along on our trips. Nancy Lopez and her Nancy Lopez Golf Adventures are going to be part of that as the years go on. You've done a great job up there, Rob. Next week, or I guess tomorrow, we're going to be talking about golf courses in Illinois. We do our Chicago feature, and then Rob's going to come back when we do Live Eco Style on Sunday, talking about the horticultural and ecological aspects of Costa Rica. So, Rob, we're going to let you go. You have a great weekend. Do more research, drink, gamble, fish, whatever you do down in Peoria, Illinois. We'll get back to you. Come alive again tomorrow morning with Live Eco Style in our Chicago feature.
Hey, sip responsibly, Rob.
Thanks again, Randy and Gene.
All right, talk to you in a bit.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that's Rob Ladd coming to us from Peoria, Illinois, the heart of Illinois, but he does a lot of travel. Rob has been all over the United States doing all kinds of eco-minded installations in agriculture.
Well, he has an what's his background? He has a. I'm drawing a blank on the.
Well, he's raised championship sheep.
But he's isn't he like a horticulturist?
Yeah, he's had his own. He works in landscaping. I mean, he knows how to grow stuff. I do not know how to grow. I've seen some of the stuff he grows. It's all legal, most of it. So I don't know. Anyway, we're going to get back on task talking about things in Michigan. Where are we going to go here in this next episode, Gene?
Well, we are going to, we talked about the wine trails a little while ago, so there was just one that I wanted a quick mention.
Uh-huh.
It's the Leelanau. I mean, and again, I don't want to negate anything else that's going on in Michigan because we have fantastic stuff, but I just happen to be up on this particular wine trail, the Leelanau Peninsula Wine Trail. Mm-hmm. That is the most incredible. If you have the opportunity to do it, it's a peninsula that extends about 30 miles from the lower peninsula of Michigan out into Lake Michigan, and it is a fabulous trip.
Right.
There's 17 wineries along the Leelanau Peninsula Wine Trail.
Yep.
I don't know. There were some good ones. I stopped at El Maury. El Maury.
No.
That is an excellent winery. They actually have been producing sparkling wine exclusively. The winery actually won national recognition for its, I want to say, Cremant Classic. It's a yeasty, nutty brut made entirely with estate-grown Vinoles grapes. They're also, Leelanau, in addition to the wineries, they have, as you mentioned, the tart cherries.
Yep.
They have more than any other county in the nation. They have over 1 million trees on over 9,000 acres, and I'll tell you, it was up there. Rob mentioned when they were flowering. It was stunning. I've never seen anything like it. Just miles and miles everywhere you drove. And these orchards are huge. They're not just small little mom and pop orchards. They are very large. So these flowering cherry trees were just marvelous. The thing about Michigan, and specifically up there, is they have the types of grapes that they grow. Mm-hmm. It's known as the lake effect. Now, lake effect also, if you winter in Michigan, has another reference to it.
That's something I only want to read about. I do not want to experience.
And that's where you get large amounts of snow. But what they have there is they have this lake effect. Basically, it protects the vines with snow in the wintertime. Right. And it essentially, they say it retards the bud break in the spring, and it helps it avoid frost damage because it's pretty cool up there. I mean, even when we were there in June, it was pretty chilly at night. Yeah. So it extends the growing season by up to 4 weeks. Wow. So it's just all about the climate there, and the
the climate must be perfect.
It is.
So does it snow in Italy?
Probably in the mountains.
What about France? Well, I guess it does in France.
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm thinking of where grapes come from. Great wines come from Italy. I don't think of them having snow.
I don't know. Let's go try it out. I want to go check it out.
Check that out. We want to make sure you do not have snow over here in Italy. That's one of our bucket list places.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So again, just there was winery after winery up there, and Michigan is just full of them. A fantabulous experience if you have not ever been there. Well worth the trip. I also want to mention real quick. There's a real interesting place that we came across. It was called Black Star Farms, and it's an 8-bedroom bed and breakfast in Sutton's Bay. The interesting thing about that, though, is it is a winery, a distillery, and a creamery. So it's actually a functioning farm. And so I, having a little bit of the agriculture background, was very fascinating to me to see that combination.
Pillows, cream, and wine.
Pillows?
Oh, I thought it had a bed and breakfast with it.
Well, winery, distillery, and creamery. I'm like, okay.
You put some other topics in here. I want to hit on. It's this stuff by mail. Saloon Box lets you test drive new cocktails and fun-sized liquors.
This is more than stuff by mail. It's cocktail. It's a cocktail delivery subscription. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. This was such an interesting topic to me.
Well, take it over.
Well,
Go.
no, but so the thing about it is it gives you the opportunity to try all kinds of different cocktails without buying a full bottle of alcohol and not knowing if you even, like that combination or
And
whatever.
all you 16-year-olds, if you think you're going to get away with this, you're not. There are state laws.
There are state
that
laws
govern this. So,
but they deliver it to your they deliver it to your door. Once a month, most of them.
Guys, do not do this because the state laws. It says here,
Yes.
note: make sure to double check your state
Yes.
alcohol-related shipping laws before springing for any booze in a box subscription.
Boozy boxes.
So
They're
anyway,
like instant cocktail
some of
parties
these-
in a box.
Yeah, some of these are pretty interesting. Saloon Box let you test drive your cocktails, bitters and bottles. A cocktail, a 101 setup will take you from novice to know-it-all. What? So how do you do that without getting just smashed?
It's in a box.
And yeah, you got the here's how it works: $89 a month. San Francisco-based startup will ship you what you need in a flat rate box packed with everything needed for a month's worth of cocktail making.
How about the Shaker and Spoon Cocktail Club? They have the farm to glass approach. Basically, you get recipe cards, step-by-step instructions for 3 cocktails, all the mixings, all the stuff, except for the fruit and the accoutrements.
And that's
like
only
that.
$50 a month.
I know.
Shakers
I know.
and Spoon. So what's that food stuff? Oh God, what's that? You can get food in the mail. You can get your booze in the mail. You got Amazon delivering everything else.
You never need to leave home.
And we've got the idiot test.
Oh my goodness!
You can
What
drink
is this? What's the idiot test?
You can drink. You can order stuff late at night after you're drunk. You're going to be doing the 800. I gotta have those 2 pans that never stick anything. I order everything. You just whatever. Crafted Taste 3-tiered plan allows you to choose your own spirited adventure. Huh. What's in it? A curated assortment of small batch mixers, syrups, and bitters, a recipe card with instructions for preparing one featured cocktail, plus variation ideas and suggested food pairings.
Unless you have me, I am great at coming up with all kinds of interesting
Without
cocktails
question.
on my own.
And after we get done here, we're having 2 big steaks, a lot more of this drink that we have sitting on the thing. And it says how it works. Crafted Taste is a monthly subscription service with 3 different tiers. And that's TIERS, not TEARS. Focused with 1 bartender recommended cocktail recipe per box. You're only paying $65 a month, or you can go to your local bar and just have a shot and a beer for a hell of a lot less than that. But this sounds pretty interesting. Middle of the road monthly kit runs $130 per month. Cocktail courier self-guided options, another option, completely customizable. So you can do whatever you want. They'll ship you whatever you want.
They're great!
There you go.
You also get Kellogg Sugar Frosted Flakes in the handy Kellogg Snack Pack.
Yeah, that's what you get in the box,
2
too.
each of your favorite ready-sweetened cereals.
Comes with, there you go. You got breakfast going. That was just... Don't... Where to Play Golf Network, a golf's premier entertainment and destination source. Partnering with world-class golf courses and premier resorts, we are America's only golf destination, vacation, and travel radio show. Where to Play Golf provides the most discriminating golfer unparalleled opportunities for golfing adventures of distinction. From famous 19th holes, dining and drinking destinations, historical and cultural experiences, relaxation and recreation pursuits, and off-the-beaten-path golf. Michael Stewart's America's #1 golf course writer, awarded 2016 Golf Radio Show of the Year. It's information, it's golf, it's fun. People like us, and we like them. There's nothing quite like it anywhere. Visit us at www.wheretoplaygolf.com. That's wheretoplaygolf.com. And that's our boys, Gene. Those are the guys, our sister station.
The Where to Play Golf, Michael and Tim.
Golf. Yeah. Those guys are
They're
good.
great guys.
They're really good. Really, really good. I love those guys. Michael and Tim together are just incredible.
They are the dynamic duo.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah, it's a weekly show. Most people can find it in their locales on Saturday morning. Guys are going to play golf. Look for it on your radio station. We're going to be doing destination trips with those guys, and going to be a lot of fun taking them on.
It's a great golf driving to the course show. If you want to get fired up,
it's not your typical golf show.
It is not your typical golf show.
They talk about food and fun, and it's very comedic and very
debauchery,
very well done. Debauchery or debauchery or whatever. But no, they're good. So where are we going, Gene? What's
we are
up next?
going to Mackinac Island, the Pink Pony.
Pink Pony.
Have you heard of the Pink Pony before?
Never have.
You know, when I was a little girl, I had a pony. It was
I've
not
heard.
pink, though.
I
I had 2 ponies, actually.
I think most people in Wisconsin call it a cow.
I was a lucky
You just
pony.
saddled
I had
up
a
a
pony,
heifer.
and then when I got older, I got horses. I had
Are
horses.
you serious?
Yeah.
Someday we should go horseback riding
I was
again.
a lucky girl. Pink Pony. You know, some of the people refer to this as possibly a tourist trap, but the interesting thing is 95% of people, all people from Michigan, have actually been here. This is just, it's a fantastic place.
Seriously.
We referenced it a little while ago, the Mackinac Island.
Yeah.
But it is listed as one of the most iconic barn restaurants
Right.
in the Midwest. It was established in 1910. So it's got one of the most fantastic views, and you can sit out there on the deck, and it's got great music, and it's got boats coming in. It sits right over the harbor. It is a fabulous place. But again, one of the most iconic locations in terms of views for the lake. They reference it. Looks like Bilbo Baggins
What the hell
and
is
Barbie co-designed it. It's pretty pink. I've been there. It's very pink.
Hosts live music, rowdy parties, and includes one of the most gorgeous
and
patios
it does get a little bit crazy and wild and fun. I mean, it's fun at night, late at night.
No.
But
Wow, and it says the panoramic view and hammers home the reason that they're not called the Pretty Good Lakes. They're the Great Lakes. You know, I read that the first time. I was like, I'm from the Pretty Good Lakes.
Did you not get that, Randy?
I didn't. I had to chart that somehow.
Hey, I had to tell you something else. You know what else about Mackinac Island? They have America's oldest owned grocery store. It's called Dowd's Market.
What are the expiration dates on some of this?
I don't know.
August.
June of 1941. 131 years old.
Wow.
It's 131 years old. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I can't. Actually, unless I looked in my own refrigerator. I got one of the oldest
There's
refrigerators.
some bad stuff. Oh, I thought you were talking about the food in there. I was
No,
like,
the
"Ooh."
blue. My food turns blue
There's
after
some
a
bad
while.
stuff in there.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go south. Let's
Okay.
head south from Mackinac Island
Yeah.
down to Grand Rapids to the
Yeah.
Founders Brewing Company.
I love this place.
Founded in 1994. These guys have such a great story. They started out making really traditional craft beers and such. They were actually on the verge of bankruptcy in the early years, and they were established in 1994. And they instead of responding to more popular tastes, they started brewing a complex in-your-face ales, I should say. Huge aromatics, bigger body, and tons of flavor. So it's not the kind of beer that everybody would drink. I mean, you have to be an avid ale and beer drinker.
Their motto
drink
should
this.
be, like our beer, don't like our beer, go scratch, I don't care.
We don't care
Don't
because
give
we
a
like
shit.
it. But
I
it
just
is
don't
good.
care.
I have a little brother that lives in Michigan, and he
Yeah.
drinks this beer, and he's actually from Grand Rapids. So
Yeah.
But yeah, they have all kinds. They have some really interesting names.
For passionate beer enthusiasts, Gene is now going to highlight the
The-
3 names of the Founders Beer Company.
Oh, I just love these names.
Yeah.
They like the best names ever. How about the Dirty Bastard?
Bastard! Bastard, you dirty bastard! You don't like my beer, I don't care. Go scratch.
Okay.
Dirty bastard. All right.
Next, how about Nitro Oatmeal Stout?
What goes in must come out. It's stout. It's nitro. It's oatmeal. It's beer.
I wonder if you can pour
Go
it on,
scratch.
Can you pour it on your oatmeal?
I don't give a shit. It's our beer. It's not for the masses.
Oh, and this last one's perfect for how you're behaving right
Yes.
now. Curmudgeon Old Ale.
I don't give a shit. Curmudgeon.
You are cranky. Oh my God.
Well, this beer gets me fired up. And then when you get done with that, you go down the road to, and I like to say this word, Petoskey. Oh, wait a minute.
That's
Wait a
not
minute.
down the road. That's
Listen,
north.
Listen, here's the Who Knew feature. This week I'm calling it my idiot feature. The Japanese grapes cost $11,000 a bunch. Seriously, most expensive grapes in the world. These guys got to be over the top. How much are you willing to spend on
Who
table
pays
grapes?
that? Who pays that much?
Wait a minute. It says how much you're willing to spend on table grape. Not as much as one of the Japanese grocery store who just paid an equivalent to $11,000. Yeah, my God. Over 14,000 Canadian for a single cluster of about 30 ruby Roman grapes. However, Takamaro Kanoshi, owner of Kanoshi Kanatai Supermarket, Hyogo Prefecture,
Say that.
placed a record-breaking bid Thursday, telling Japan Times that he is very much honored to have won the auction.
So how much would that be like a grape?
I'm going to tell you what, in the morning when you're sitting on the commode wondering, I just ate $11,000 worth of grapes, and you flush that, it's going to be the most special moment in the world. Specially cultivated in Japan, ruby Roman grapes are a high-end varietal known for the ping-pong size and heightened sweetness.
Hey, you know what, though?
Listen.
Oh,
Listen.
sorry.
Listen. They're also meant to bring prestige and luck, making grapes from the first yield a hot ticket item. With later harvest also selling at higher than unusual price points. Higher than that, they got to be idiots.
Maybe they were high when they
to
bought
have,
it.
They have to have 20 grams of sugar, 18% sugar by content, and particularly cherry-fed color. So there you go. Who knew?
I don't know.
Right.
I'm thinking if I had $11,000, it would not be for a bunch of grapes.
I did find when I was doing research, though, I did find a couple other who knew segments. I just want to go over because I find
very quickly.
Okay, director Wes Craven, and these are just random facts, don't mean anything about Michigan, named Freddie Krueger after a kid who bullied him in school. I thought that was interesting.
Nice.
And the one that I found most amazing, the Von Trapp family, the hills are alive, may have dramatically hiked over the Alps into the Switzerland in the movies and the Sound of Music, but this is a fact you need to know. But in reality, they escaped by walking to the local train station and boarding the next train to Italy. Had they truly climbed over every mountain, they would have ended up in Nazi Germany. So what you see in the movies might not be particularly what you thought. But who knew? Enough.
Who knew?
For America.
Hey, we want to stop at one more distillery. We want to go to the Journeyman Distillery.
Yes.
This is a family-owned and operated distillery in Three Oaks, Michigan.
Yep.
And it's actually, I bet you did not know this. It is one of the few distilleries in the world to be organic and kosher certified. Just in case you're wondering.
What? I don't understand kosher. I don't want to...
Kosher.
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 Are we,
Kosher.
I don't know.
Actually, you know what? They have an interesting story. They're located in, and they have a great product. They're located in an old historic featherbone factory. Mm-hmm. And you know what's funny about this?
No.
The man that owned this, E.K.
Hilarious.
Warren.
Yeah.
Why is your stuff always so funny and mine's not?
I
just find this very ironic.
Go for
the
it.
guy that used to own it, E.K. Warren, original builder of the factory, he was a staunch prohibitionist.
Really?
How proud do you think he might be now?
How small was his distillery during Prohibition?
It wasn't
Yeah.
distillery.
Yeah.
He just owned the building. He owned
Yeah.
the building. I don't know what was in there before, but
Wow.
he was a prohibitionist. So yeah, I said, I wonder if he'd be rolling over in his grave right now if he knew that it was actually distilling spirits.
God, I hope so.
But it sounds like an extremely cool place.
Yeah.
So let's take a drive up the
Yangtze?
Yangtze. Yeah,
No,
the
that's
Yangtze.
not in Michigan.
Let's go. Let's head up the river again, up the lake again.
Well, Lake Michigan.
I want to go to the Cook's house.
All
Actually, I just want to mention real quickly, there's so much fabulous food.
Yeah.
I had great food when I was there a few weeks ago, but the Cook's house, I've read about, and I've not been there. I have to say I've not been there, but I've read about it so many times. This place is actually an old tiny storefront restaurant that serves like seasonal dishes. So essentially the food that they make is based on whatever's in season at the time, which I absolutely love. That is such a big trend across the country. And these guys have gotten kudos for their food. In fact, best to make a reservation if you think that you're going to want to get in there.
I understand they have slow cooked pulled pork sandwiches dressed in sweet barbecue sauce and tucked in a crusty artisan
They are
bun.
chefs. They are truly it's
I was told I have artisan buns.
artisan buns.
Well, no, they were talking about something else.
But buns or buns?
Yeah, never mind.
What you're talking about?
The Great Lakes Foodie Fest on Saturday is held on the shores of Grand Traverse Bay. Attendees can sample the area's best food, taste the region's wine, beer, cider, and spirit samplings, view distinctive kitchenwares, listen to live music, participate in educational seminars. There is also a champagne cruise on Grand Traverse Bay. Why are we not going to go do that?
Well, we are.
It seems like it has it all for, done. We are.
You
That's
could
true.
you
I
could
forgot.
you could eat and drink so many. I mean, they have so many places that are like stellar destinations.
I'm telling you, Michigan's got it going.
They do.
They really do.
They do.
They do.
And it's just and the people are so nice. I guess that's the other thing is everybody that you run into, they're great Midwest people and so accommodating and just friendly and nice and warm and it's just a great and you can if you live in the Midwest, it's a nice 2-3 day trip.
I'm going to do a short Who Knew feature on who came from Michigan. Did you know Stevie Wonder came from Michigan?
Really?
Yeah, Iggy Pop. There's Iggy Pop again.
Iggy Pop.
Madonna came from Michigan. Hard to believe. Eminem, I think we all knew, came from Michigan. And then when you get
Eminem like M&M's or Eminem
You're an
like
idiot.
singer?
No, Eminem, the rapper. Eminem.
Got it.
Motown Records Detroit was the home of some of the most influential musicians ever: Diana Ross, Temptation, Smokey Robinson, Marvin Gaye, the Jackson 5, and countless others. It's amazing. Saginaw's birthplace also of Serena Williams.
Bel Air Brand.
No kidding. And she was just in the news.
And now Tim Allen, who does her commercials.
Purple
Got
Gang,
it.
Huma Lupalicious.
This was a great
These are names
show,
that let the
Gene.
imagination
And I just
run
let's
wild.
let Tim
was
Allen
fun.
Taste buds take
listen
a
to this.
stroll.
He's talking about breweries,
Welcome
wineries, distilleries.
to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the old Mission Peninsula and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten, Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat, from Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a Two-Hearted Ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red, let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
I love Tim Allen. I think their final minute's going to be spent on what?
You love him.
No. Okay, we got 45 seconds. Tell us
45
about
seconds.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to talk about the Inn at Bay Harbor in
Yeah.
Bay Harbor, Michigan.
Right.
This place, do you realize, Randy, that this is an amazing resort, 27-hole golf course, award-winning food accommodations.
Right.
It was built in 1997 from a former rock quarry, and you were telling me a little bit about
Yeah.
how did they design
Well,
this?
what they did, they told the town. I think they're going to blow up the
We're
everything.
going to have a big explosion tomorrow morning.
They're going to knock the chimneys down, so they blew that up, and then they blew up the bay in between to let the water in, and so they had Bay Harbor. Anyway, it's been Randy and Gene. It's been great. Tune in again next time. We're going to be talking about Chicago.
Hey, see you in a couple days.
Drink responsibly, guys.